Right now, for the first time in the history of business credit card welcome bonus offers, we are currently seeing the highest offers to exist. Take as an example where back in 2015, the Chase Ink Cash Card offered only $300 cash back after spending $3,000 in 3 months. A few years later, the offer was $750 cash back after spending $7,500. Right now, in the most recent months, the Chase Ink Cash Card is going to offer you the highest welcome bonus possible that we've ever seen at a total of $900 cash back after you spend $6,000 in the first 3 months of card ownership. So far, we can clearly see that the trajectory of these card offers are showing even higher bonuses over time, but this might not be around for so long. Currently, the highest offer is known to be around for only a limited time, meaning this could possibly be the peak, aka the top of the credit card market, which means you're gonna wanna take advantage of the offers while they still exist. So ladies and gents, in this video, I'm gonna give you an easy to understand breakdown of the best business credit cards right now that exist in the market. So to begin this video, the first set of lineup of cards are actually gonna come from that Chase Ink side. And this is because I would consider Chase to be more of the early and mid-game set of credit cards that you want to complete just because they offer a ton of great points, they have a ton of good products. And in addition to that, they also have rules such as the 524 rule, where if you try to get them late game, it's gonna be a lot harder because you're limited by how many credit cards you can have. This same principle applies within the business credit card sector, except there is a bit of a twist, and I'll go over that later. What's also cool about the Chase ecosystem on the business side is the fact that in the most recent months, Chase also released a fourth lineup to their business credit cards, which also gives you an additional $1,000 in cash back. After doing a little bit of math, if you get all 4 Chase Ink business cards with the current welcome bonus offers, you would be getting over $3,800 in straight free cash back in your pocket. Aside from the newest card that was released, which is a Chase Ink Business Premier, you would be able to transfer all of those points over into the Ultimate Rewards portal. So if you have something like the Chase Sapphire Preferred or you have the Chase Sapphire Reserve, you would get an additional bonus on those points. So instead of having just $2,800 in cash back, or to make it easier, let's round it up to $3,000, that could be essentially worth double that amount, or $6,000 in free travel credits. So we're talking about a lot of money here, folks, and this is just one of the simple benefits to business credit cards. Now let's talk about what the best business credit card at the time is, and I believe that's going to be the Chase Ink Unlimited. So if you're in the points and miles game, this is what I would consider to be the ultimate version of the Chase Freedom Unlimited card. I was going to do a funny, corny joke here, and it was going to be like, get it, ultimate, because ultimate reward points. This is a serious video. This is about business credit cards. Now, if you aren't too familiar with the Freedom Unlimited, very simple card, just like the Ink Unlimited, where you'll be earning 1.5% cash back on every purchase with no annual fee, meaning it costs nothing at all to hold this card. Now, this here was one of the first business credit cards that I ever picked up, and back then, I didn't get a welcome bonus offer as nearly as good as you guys have it now. With this card, just by spending $6,000 across 3 months, you'll earn $900 cash back, or 90,000 ultimate reward points. On top of that, the reason this card is among one of the best is because it's a limited time offer. You'll also be getting 0% intro APR on your purchases for the first 12 months. I'm sure since you guys are already watching this video on business credit cards, you'll know that the purchases that carry over on your business card aren't going to report onto your personal credit report. So that means if you do need a little bit of time and some runway, you're not going to see a dip in your credit score just by carrying a balance. And on top of that, you'd be getting interest-free dollars that you could use towards whatever business or venture you have. On top of that, this card also offers you fraud protection, zero liability protection, which means that you won't be held responsible for any unauthorized charges on your card. You get extended warranty protection. You also get auto rental collision damage waiver, so you could decline the rental company's collision insurance and place it on this card, and you get primary rental coverage, which is always nice. Always save a couple $100 that way. And with this card, you also get purchase protection, where if you have a new purchase for up to 120 days, you can get up to $10,000 per claim and up to $50,000 per account. Very similar to what some of the other higher tier credit cards offer. On top of that, with this card, you get travel and emergency assistance service. And last but not least, you also get roadside dispatch. Now, to sum this card up, it is simple. It is amazing. It is an easy to hit welcome bonus, especially within the usual minimum requirement spend for those welcome bonuses. And right now, I would consider this card to be an essential beneficial, especially for anyone who's already within that Chase ecosystem. Now, before even applying for a Chase card or even a business credit card, there are a few important things to note, like I talked about earlier, which is going to be that 524 rule, where if you apply for a business credit card, it won't count towards your 524 limit, but if you're already over 524 within Chase, you're going to automatically get denied. If you guys do want to get approved for this card, I highly recommend that you at least have a credit score of 700 in order to qualify. Now, the next best business credit card here on my list is going to be the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card. With this card here, you'll earn 5% cash back on the first $25,000 spent in combined purchases at office supply stores, on internet, cable, and phone services each account anniversary year. Amongst those, if you're thinking about what office stores qualify, it's going to be like Staples, Office Max, Office Depot, and then if you're wondering what other subscription or phone services that could qualify would be, it'd be like Xfinity, Fios, Verizon Wireless, or even AT&T. Now, there are some additional data points showing that there are still some other subscription services like Netflix, Hulu, Sirius, Sling TV that show that it does code in as the 5X on this card. But like with everything, your miles may vary, so it depends on your situation, because sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Aside from that 5% cash back, which I think is amazing for a no annual fee card, you'll also be getting 2% cash back on the first $25,000 spent in combined purchases at two things: gas stations and restaurants, which is a pretty viable card. Like always, you'll be earning 1% ultimate reward points on everything else. But guys, 2% back on restaurants, gas stations, that is not too bad at all, figuring that most credit cards, usually they hit you with an annual fee, or they're one of the 5% category rotating cards that offer it. But this here seems to be one of those credit cards where if you're opting out of the unlimited, maybe you already have that card for some reason, this here is another great runner-up. Now, the welcome bonus offer for this is the exact same as the Chase Inc. Unlimited card, where at the current limited time where it's offering this, if you spend $6,000, you'll be getting a welcome bonus of $900 back in the first 3 months. On top of that, you will also be getting that 0% intro APR for the first 12 months, so you can still continue to utilize the full benefits of business credit cards, all at interest-free cost. Now, the safe bet, just like the previous card, is going to be a 700 credit score that you'd want in order to get approved without a hiccup. Now, the third best business credit card here on my list is going to be the Chase Inc. Business Preferred. One of the reasons why I decided to put this at number 3 instead of number 1 is just because you have to spend a lot of money in order to get that welcome bonus incentive. Now, on the other hand, instead of getting 90,000 UR points like you do with the 2 previous cards, you'd be getting an additional 10,000 UR points, or an additional $100. By taking a look at the public offer right now, it's 100,000 UR points after you spend $15,000 in purchases. And look, I don't know too many people who could spend $15,000 in 3 months. It's about $5,000 every single month. That's usually people's full-time income right there. But for any savvy business owner, maybe you're running Facebook ads, maybe you have like a high margin business where you're spending a lot on cost of goods, you're buying inventory, this card is still very viable. It's still an amazing one to add to the wallet. This is also another credit card that I still have with me. I've not canceled it. I've kept it for many years. And this is because when I first got into the whole entrepreneur space, I was running a lot of Facebook ads. I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars within that space. And this is one of the cards that gave me a lot of points back in return. So with this credit card, you'll be earning 3 points per $1 on the first $150,000 spent in the following categories. This here is shipping purchases, advertising purchases with social media sites and search engines. So this is going to be TikTok ads, Facebook ads, Pinterest ads, even Google SEO ads. And on top of that, you'll get 3x back on internet, cable, and phone services and travel. Like I mentioned earlier, this card is great for anyone who does any type of marketing or paid ads. So if you're on the digital marketing agency side, you have your own e-com store, this is one of the best credit cards that you can get. Normally, when a card has an annual fee, usually it's meant for a higher tier audience, or it's meant for more prime consumers is what the banks would call them. But in this case, I have seen a lot of data points where people who still have a credit score within that 700 range still get approved. So you don't need to have like an 800 credit score for a card like this. You actually don't need an 800 credit score for any card. That's a little hack. More often than not, if you have a credit score of more than 715, you're going to get approved for 99% of the cards out there. Now, the fourth card here on this list might sound a bit like a broken record, but it is for good reason. And this is going to be the final new addition to the Chase Inc. lineup, which is going to be the Chase Inc. Business Premier card. So this card here only released just a few months ago. And right now you can earn an additional $1,000 bonus cash back after you spend $10,000 on purchases in the first 3 months of account opening. Now, this card here works in a really unique way, and there are definitely some caveats that you need to know about that I'll just cover in a quick second. But first of all, this card is gonna earn you a total of 2.5% cash back on all your purchases, but there is an exception. Those purchases must be worth over $5,000 or more. So this card is really meant for anyone who places huge bulk orders. If every single one of your inventory is under $5,000, this card isn't really gonna make much sense. Aside from that though, you do get 2% back on every purchase, but you have to realize that you're not getting ultimate reward points with this card. You're actually getting straight cash back, so you can't find a way to transfer these points out. Not only does it have an annual fee, it's not just $95, but it's a little bit more. It's at $195, or if we round that up, you're getting a $200 annual fee pretty much to get these benefits. Now, I think this card is still viable just for the reason that a lot of people who are late game already have all the Chase Inc. business cards, and that is someone like me. This card is awesome because it's a free $1,000 cash back, because I know if I have furniture I need to buy, like I just moved into a new house and I need to deck out my new YouTube studio, buy some new camera gear, this would be the first card that I would get right now. Yes, it has a higher annual fee, $200, but even after I get that $1,000 cash back, I'm still profiting at least $800 in benefits, not even accounting for that 2% cash back rate that I would get just by using this card. So if you are late game, definitely consider this as one of the more viable options right now. And if you are really just getting into the space, I would focus mainly on those 3 Chase Inc. cards, especially with the first 2 that I mentioned, just because the minimum spend requirement is much less. And on top of that, you can always transfer out those points into a personal card and use those points all together for your dream vacation and get maximum value back. For this card, I actually recommend you to have a bit higher score than 700. I think if you have like a 715 credit score, you will definitely get approved, but your miles may vary. I also need to mention, if you're someone who happens to have like a 690 score, 685, I have always seen data points where those people still get approved too. So it always just depends on when you apply, what season it is. Maybe they don't even care too much about the minimum credit score requirement. Maybe they lowered it down. It always just depends, and you don't really know until you actually apply. Speaking of applying, real quick, if you guys do want to support the channel, I have links down below in the description. So before you pop open Google and you punch all this information in to sign up for the card, using the links down below at no cost to you support this channel, where I can continue to provide you guys some of that banger fire knowledge in order for you to continue making money as well. A nice relationship here that I have with y'all. And thank you if you guys use those links. So for the 5th credit card here on my list, finally getting out of the Chase ecosystem, we are moving over into American Express. And one of my favorite credit cards that I have is currently the American Express Business Platinum card. So this credit card here is gonna give you 120,000 membership reward points after you spend $15,000 on eligible purchases within the first 3 months. It is worth noting that this is one of those cards where they frequently adjust the welcome bonus offer, but I've never seen it come this high. If you're also someone who can't really spend this much money within a short period of time, I have seen some adjusted offers where they extend the 3-month time period limit in order to go to 6 months. And sometimes I have seen before where it goes even longer. Now, although those adjusted offers aren't guaranteed, what I am seeing is just this public welcome bonus offer, which is still at 120,000 MR points, which is absolutely nuts. So with this card, you'll be getting 5x membership reward points on flights and prepaid hotels on AmexTravel.com. You'll also be getting 1.5x membership reward points per dollar on eligible purchases in key business categories, as well as on each purchase of $5,000 or more. Now, this is up to $2 million of purchases per calendar year. I can't imagine anyone surpassing that limit, but if you happen to be a whale or a baller watching this video, congrats, because that is definitely a special feat to accomplish. On top of that, you'll also be getting a $400 Dell technology credit. This is really easy to use. It's $200 split up every 6 months, and I always find that I can buy something off Dell, where it's a new backpack or even like a docking station for my home office. It does come in pretty good handy. On top of that, this is something new, but they added a $360 Indeed credit, where you can use this in order to find maybe some new team members, hire some new talent, but it's basically free money on this website where you could use it to expand your business. With this card, my favorite one though is the $150 Adobe credit. So I use Lightroom, Photoshop. My team also uses the editing software that Adobe provides. And this card here is going to give you $150 in credits, which is split up every single month, which is still pretty good. On top of that, you get a $120 wireless telephone service credit. With this, I'm getting $10 back on my cell phone bill, which is absolutely incredible too. On top of that, you'll also be getting a $200 airline fee credit where if you get any incidentals, you can apply this to that too. That's not even the end of it though. You get a $189 Clear credit. So I've used this before. I have a Clear membership. I wombo combo it with Clear and also TSA PreCheck when I'm leaving or getting in the US, and that has sped up the process significantly. You'll also be getting a 35% airline bonus in membership reward points, and this here is definitely my favorite. I think I've said it's my favorite like 100 times, but this is truly my favorite. The Fine Hotels and Resorts program. With this card, you'll be receiving so much more value where you get late checkout, you get free spa credit, free breakfast credits. I mean, if you travel anywhere for business using this card and you maximize this portal here, you'll realize how great it is. To top it off, this card also comes with a pay over time option. You get cell phone protection. So if you bang up your cell phone, they'll actually help you to replace it or to repair it, which is also another great thing about using some of these higher tier cards, especially with Amex, which always seems like they have some of the best customer service possible. Now, all these things sound great, but I have to note that this card here does come with a heavy annual fee of $695 per year. This is an annual fee that was raised in the past few years during the pandemic. A lot of people were so mad about it, but I feel like it really hasn't slowed down the card owners who actually still hold on to it, like myself included. It's a higher annual fee, but if I take a little bit of time, make some reminders in my Google Calendar to set every 6 months, use this credit, make sure to maximize this value. Or when I'm booking a new hotel and to use some of the travel portals like the Amex Fine Hotels Resort Collection, I can easily find that I still get positive ROI back from holding this card. And if it finds out that, after a year, you still don't want it or you're not traveling that much, Amex will offer you most of the time something called a retention offer where they say, you know what? Okay, how about you pay half the annual fee? Or you know what? How about we'll give you 20 to 50,000 MR points, which allows you to justify holding the card even more. Last but not least, this here is one of my favorite credit cards to the list, and this is going to be the American Express Blue Business Plus card. Now, I would consider this card to actually be like a sleeper credit card because it doesn't offer you the highest amounts of, welcome bonus. It's not the fanciest, it's not the prettiest. I mean, they did have a revamp on the card design recently, but other than that, it's one of those cards where I think it is just a staple in most people's wallet. This is because for no annual fee, you'll be getting 2x MR points on everyday business purchases using this card, and on top of that, you'll be earning 15,000 membership reward points after you spend $3,000, and you get 0% intro APR for 12 months through American Express. This card, there's not much to brag about, just the fact that it's a simple workhorse, and if you want to expand your late game setup within American Express, this is one of those key cards that you can add into the wallet, you can forget about it, or when the time comes in handy where you need a no interest credit card for those 12 months to expand whatever business you have, or if you have a little bit of trouble making payroll, or maybe you're a seasonal company, American Express is generally really good with this, and whatever credit limit you might even get on a card like this, they actually have a little secret where you can often triple that credit limit too. Now, that video on my channel I made a long time ago, I might have to make a little bit of a refresher, but that is another viable strategy where you can get a huge credit limit, all interest free for those 12 months, and you also get 2x back on it, all while not ever paying a single penny to hold this card. So ladies and gents, that is going to be the best business credit card so far for this year. If you don't know the steps on actually how to get approved, I made a fully dedicated business credit card ultimate guide here on YouTube. So be sure to watch this video after this is over in order to make sure that you get all the up-to-date information and you know how to successfully apply and get approved. If you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to like and subscribe and share this with someone who, is into the business side of the world. And if you are looking to sign up for any one of these cards, I do have links down below in the description. Thank you all so much again for watching. Be sure to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram if you haven't done so already, and that'll be it. See y'all later. Peace.